Imagine waking up one day and discovering that the person making your decisions isn't really you. Not in some abstract, philosophical sense, but literally. The voice telling you what to reach for, what to crave, what to need in this exact moment. It doesn't belong to the person you thought you were. It belongs to something else. Something that's been growing inside your neural pathways, rewiring your brain's architecture, hijacking the very systems designed to keep you alive. You tell yourself you're in control. You make a promise. Tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow, you'll stop. Tomorrow, you'll be the person you know you're capable of being. But when tomorrow arrives, that voice returns. Louder, more insistent. And somehow, despite everything you swore to yourself, your hand reaches out again. What's terrifying isn't that you lack willpower. What's terrifying is that willpower was never the issue at all. Here's the paradox that shatters everything we've been taught about addiction. The very mechanism your brain uses to ensure your survival, the ancient primal system designed to keep you seeking food, connection, and safety, is the same mechanism that addiction exploits to ensure your destruction. Your brain can't tell the difference between what nourishes you and what annihilates you. To your neural circuitry, both register as survival. Think about that for a moment. The same dopamine pathways that once rewarded your ancestors for finding food and forming bonds are now firing with explosive intensity for something that's slowly killing you. Your brain has mistaken poison for sustenance, and it's defending that poison with the same ferocity it would defend your life. But here's where it gets even stranger. You know this. On some level, you're fully aware. You can articulate the harm. You can see the consequences rippling through your relationships, your health, and your sense of self. You possess all the information you need to stop, yet the knowing changes nothing. How is it possible to simultaneously know something is destroying you and be unable to stop choosing it? This is the hidden horror of addiction. Not that it removes your awareness, but that it operates underneath it. You remain conscious, watching yourself make choices you don't want to make, becoming someone you don't want to become. You're a passenger in your own life, screaming at the driver to stop, only to realize the driver is also you. Or something wearing your face. Consider this. Every moment you resist becomes its own form of torture. Every hour you don't give in is an hour spent battling an enemy that lives inside your own skull, that speaks in your own voice, that knows exactly which thoughts to whisper to break you down. It knows your weaknesses because they're its weaknesses. It knows your fears because they're its ammunition. And perhaps most unsettling of all, it knows that eventually you'll get tired. That your prefrontal cortex, the part of you trying to maintain control, will fatigue. Your willpower is a limited resource that depletes throughout the day. It's just waiting. Patient, persistent. Because unlike you, it never gets tired. So you exist in this impossible space between two unbearable realities, the agony of giving in and the agony of resisting. Both feel like dying. Both feel impossible to sustain. And somewhere in that impossible space, you start to wonder if the problem isn't the substance or the behavior itself, but something far more fundamental about the architecture of human consciousness. What if the real prison isn't what you're addicted to, but the way your mind has learned to construct reality itself? What if freedom isn't about breaking free from the addiction, but about understanding that the you trying to break free and the you that keeps choosing the addiction are both illusions, shadows cast by deeper forces you've never learned to see? The question isn't why you can't stop. The question is, who is the you that wants to stop? And who is the you that keeps choosing to continue? And what if the answer reveals something about human nature so disturbing, so profound, that everything you thought you knew about control, choice, and identity begins to collapse? To understand how addiction controls your mind, you need to confront an uncomfortable truth. Your brain was never designed for the world you're living in. For millions of years, human neurology evolved in an environment of scarcity. Food was uncertain. Safety was temporary. Pleasure was rare and precious. So your ancestors' brains developed a ruthlessly efficient system. When something felt good, when something reduced pain or increased pleasure, the brain flooded itself with dopamine and carved deep neural pathways to ensure you'd remember exactly how to find that feeling again. This was survival. This was intelligence. This was your brain doing exactly what it was supposed to do. But then, in an evolutionary eye blink, everything changed. You went from scarcity to abundance, from occasional pleasure to pleasure on demand, from natural rewards that required effort and time to synthetic rewards that deliver neurochemical explosions with zero evolutionary payoff. Your brain is still running software designed for the Paleolithic, but it's trying to navigate a world that would be unrecognizable to your ancestors. And addiction is what happens when ancient survival mechanisms collide with modern excess. Here's what occurs at the neurological level. When you encounter something genuinely rewarding, a nourishing meal, an intimate connection, an accomplishment, your brain releases dopamine. But it's not the amount of dopamine that matters most. It's the learning that happens alongside it. Your brain is constantly asking, what did I just do? What led to this reward? How can I do it again? This is the foundation of all learning, all habit formation, all motivated behavior. You are, in essence, a prediction machine. Your brain creates models of reality based on what's worked before, then runs simulations to determine what to do next. Every decision you make is based on your brain's prediction about what will make you feel good and what will make you feel bad. Now, here's where it becomes insidious. Addictive substances and behaviors don't just activate this system. They hijack it completely. They flood your brain with dopamine at levels no natural reward could ever achieve. A slice of cake might give you a modest dopamine increase. Connection with a loved one might give you a warm, sustained glow. But substances like cocaine, methamphetamine, or even the engineered dopamine hits of social media and gambling, they create dopamine surges 10 times higher than anything your brain evolved to handle. And your brain, doing exactly what it's designed to do, learns. This is the most important thing in the world. This is survival. Remember this. Prioritize this above everything else. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer understood something crucial about human nature. We are fundamentally driven by what he called will, a blind, insatiable force of wanting that underlies all human behavior. We don't pursue happiness, Schopenhauer argued. We pursue the temporary relief from wanting. We are creatures of lack, forever grasping at things we believe will complete us, only to find that each satisfaction opens up new chasms of desire. Addiction is Schopenhauer's will in its most concentrated, most visible form. It reveals the mechanism that's operating underneath all human behavior, the endless cycle of craving and temporary satisfaction, except accelerated and intensified until it becomes impossible to ignore. Carl Jung approached this from a different angle, recognizing that what we call addiction is often a spiritual crisis wearing a neurological mask. In his correspondence with Bill Wilson, co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous, Jung suggested that alcoholism, and by extension, all addiction, represents a misguided search for wholeness, for transcendence, for something sacred that modern life has stripped away. The Latin phrase, spiritus contra spiritum, spirit against spirits, captures this perfectly. We're seeking spiritual fulfillment in substances that can never provide it, trying to fill a God-shaped hole with things that fit the contours but lack the substance. But neither the neurological nor the spiritual explanation alone captures the full horror of addiction. Because what's actually happening is far more insidious. Your sense of self is being rewritten. Think about identity for a moment. You believe you have consistent preferences, stable values, and an enduring sense of who you are. But neuroscience reveals something disturbing. Your self is not a fixed entity, but an ongoing construction, a story your brain tells based on memories, predictions, and present circumstances. And addiction doesn't just change your behaviors, it fundamentally alters the narrative of who you believe yourself to be. As the addiction deepens, your brain begins to reorganize your entire identity around the addictive behavior. Neural pathways strengthen. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for long-term planning, impulse control, and rational decision-making, actually shrinks. Meanwhile, the regions associated with habit, craving, and automatic behavior grow stronger. You're not becoming a different person. You're being rebuilt at the architectural level. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camps, observed that humans can endure almost any suffering if they have a strong enough sense of meaning and purpose. But addiction does something uniquely cruel. It systematically dismantles your sense of meaning and replaces it with a singular, hollow purpose. The pursuit of the next fix, the next hit, the next escape. Everything else, your relationships, your work, your dreams, your values, become subordinate to this one overriding imperative. Not because you're weak, not because you lack character, but because the very neural machinery that generates your sense of what matters has been fundamentally reprogrammed. The existentialist Jean-Paul Sartre famously declared that existence precedes essence, that we are not born with a fixed nature, but create ourselves through our choices. But what happens when the mechanism of choice itself has been compromised? What does freedom mean when the faculty that chooses has been reshaped by forces you never consented to? This is the hidden problem at the heart of addiction. It's not just that you're making bad choices. It's that the you who chooses has been altered. The judge has been bribed. The driver has been replaced. And the most terrifying part? The transition was so gradual, so subtle, that you never noticed the moment when you stopped being in control. Now you're living with a ghost version of yourself. There's the person you present to the world, the one who shows up to work, who smiles at appropriate moments, who maintains the elaborate performance of normalcy. And then there's the person you're becoming in the spaces between those performances, in the moments when no one's watching, when the craving rises like a tide, and you're alone with the choice you know you're going to make. The gap between these two versions of yourself becomes a chasm. And managing that chasm, hiding it, explaining it away, constructing elaborate justifications for why this time is different, why you deserve this, why it's not really a problem, becomes a second full-time job that exhausts you in ways you can't articulate. This is where addiction's control becomes truly comprehensive. It doesn't just hijack your reward system. It conscripts your entire cognitive apparatus into defending and enabling the addiction itself. Your brain has a confirmation bias problem. It's constantly seeking evidence that confirms what it already believes, while dismissing evidence that contradicts it. In normal circumstances, this is merely annoying. In addition, it becomes catastrophic. because your brain now fundamentally believes that the addictive substance or behavior is necessary for survival. It begins filtering all incoming information through that lens. Evidence of harm minimized, consequences piling up, rationalized, loved ones expressing concern, reframed as ignorance or overreaction. You develop what psychologists call cognitive dissonance, the psychological discomfort of holding contradictory beliefs simultaneously. You know the addiction is harming you, but you also believe you need it. These two truths cannot coexist comfortably, so your mind does something ingenious and terrible. It rewrites the narrative to eliminate the contradiction. I'm not addicted. I'm just managing stress in the only way that works for me. Everyone has their vice. Mine just happens to be more visible. I've tried to stop before, and it made things worse. This is actually the healthier option. I'll stop when the timing is better, when life isn't so overwhelming. These aren't lies exactly. There's something more insidious. They're the stories your brain constructs to resolve the unbearable tension between the person you want to be and the person you're becoming. And the most dangerous part? These narratives feel absolutely true when you're inside them. They weigh a self-evident fact. This is the addiction speaking with your voice, thinking with your mind, using your intelligence against you. Meanwhile, at the neurological level, something even more disturbing is occurring. Each time you give in to the craving, you're not just satisfying a desire, you're strengthening a neural pathway. You're teaching your brain that this is the correct response to discomfort, uncertainty, boredom, anxiety, joy, or any emotional state at all. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on repeated experiences. It's the mechanism that allows you to learn languages, develop skills, and adapt to new environments. It's one of the human brain's most remarkable features. But neuroplasticity is morally neutral. It doesn't distinguish between patterns that serve you and patterns that destroy you. It simply reinforces whatever you practice most. And with each repetition, the pathway grows stronger. The behavior becomes more automatic. What once required conscious decision-making